following is your final first round match for the MAG Championship.
Can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, God let you down. Sooner or later, God let you down. Go tell that go tell that you missed me.
Good shot, you Alabama! I will turn you into a handbag, you hear me? I will turn you into a snakeskin handbag. You sit down and shut up.
What? Are you fool? This was not on the format. Well, Adam Priest said it was the favorite show. Whatever brackets we had are completely out the window at this point. This was not on my format. My sources did not tell me this. Let's go down to Carmen Michael. Jesus.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the King's Road Slayer, Derek Neal. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing 197 pounds, he is the Foundation, Jonathan Gresham.
Well, I mean, sure, this is no disrespect to Invictus Cash, and I hate that he could not be here tonight because he's an outstanding wrestler. But this, if you're Derek Neal, okay, who is the champion in this building, as you said, experienced tournament wrestler, as you said, in my estimation, one of the best wrestlers in the Southeast, especially over the last 10, 15 years, this is the last person that you want to be finding out your wrestling at the last second.
I'm in shock, and I need new sources because how do I not know that? Okay, now it's no secret that Mag has ties to Jonathan Gresham, but I didn't know. I saw no gear. He was not here prepared to do anything. I didn't even know that he was in the city as far as it goes to be able to go ahead and handle this. But now Derek Neal, this is a top tier match anywhere in the world. You got Derek Neal versus Jonathan Gresham. Derek Neal, of course, he's earned a little bit of a nickname, a soft title in the back as a tournament master, having won the Dingo Invitational at St. Louis Anarchy, the Haas tournament for New South, and now he's really up against it. In my opinion, the last real pillar of Ring of Honor before a Tony Khan era in Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That chop That chop did not even move Derek Neal. That's no disrespect to Jonathan Gresham. It's not like Jonathan Gresham's not heavy-handed. He is. That tells you what that barrel chest of Derek Neal's like. It's Gresham trying to get a hold of that arm. Now, that's what Gresham's a real master.
Yes.
Is breaking down a wrestler piece by piece by piece. And he understands this round's format perhaps better than anyone should.
Absolutely. Derek tried to hit that forward roll through. Gresham was there to beat him. He does it again. And the thing about it is, Gresham will do stuff like that sometimes. He'll call it sourcing or sometimes fielding. He throws the chop out there just to get a feel for his man, just to see what he's going to do with it. He knows that the chop ain't working, so now he's going to something else. Now he's in the wheelhouse. He knows what he has to do.
I would argue that Jonathan Gresham might be the most cerebral wrestler that there is.
Absolutely.
He's a pure strategist. Having said that, somebody else who I would put in the upper tier of that is Derek Neal. Derek Neal very much similar in that regard. And they're both sort of thinking men or women's wrestlers, so to speak. They're very, very thoughtful about what they do. Execution very nice here on the toe hold. Great grip from Neal there.
As Gresham is trying to find his way out of that toe hold, old school Johnny Saint slip out on that. Let me tell you, I know Derek Neal was a little bit perturbed about the fact that like people were wondering why his inclusion in this tournament, because you got some technical elitists out there that think he shouldn't be in there. I'd be worried about Derek Neal in this tournament because this man is heavy-handed. He's got a hell of a temper, and that kind of power, that kind of stockiness, that build, the explosiveness of a Derek Neal take everybody off guard. He's not here to try to go hold for hold. If he decides that he wants to exert his power, it's going to go down, and it's going to happen suddenly.
Also, that dew buster, fisherman buster, in my opinion, the most brutal kill shot, finishing hold, so to speak, whatever you want to call it, in this area, maybe anywhere on the independents over the course of the last 3 to 4 years.
You don't see people just kicking out of that.
You don't see anybody kicking out of it.
Furthermore, see what I'm talking about? Gresham, for all those holds, one body slam just neutralized all of that.
Yeah, but that arm already put in some work there on that arm. Looking for a waist lock here. Neal able to push down. You notice he postured down there, sure.
Got you. See, this is what he was talking about earlier when he was talking about it. He's like, they can talk about all the holes they want. I'm not getting paid by the hour. That's perfectly legal, especially the way he's throwing it. That big bicep.
You can wreck somebody's kidneys that way too.
Right.
A lot of damage can be done. That's really a kidney or liver punch there.
And
look like an open fist. But
and Derek Neal actually standing out a little bit. He's the first real striker of this tournament as far as it goes, because he's actually going ahead and trying to work the strikes open. As long as it's not a closed fist, it's fair game. So you got palms, you got elbows, you got forearms, you got kicks.
Oh, second time. Oh man! And his back hit that apron hard. Neal,
hey man, like the chairs didn't do anything to you. Okay.
Throwing things around the TW arena.
And Gresham's being very smart because he's got to buy time. So he's using these ways to slip, slide, and get out there. Derek is actually helping out Gresham in this particular instance because he's allowing him a chance to be able to rest up and get right.
Point. Last time, of course, that Gresham was in this building under Mad Rules. He went all the way to the last round and was able to beat Jake Neal. Kind of the same way Priest won in that last night by changing speeds.
Absolutely.
So that's a man-sized collar and elbow tie-up right there.
He wants to. Oh Lord,
can't do it.
He cannot let his anger get the best of him, especially against one of the probably the best pure wrestler in the world in the round one.
Yeah, I don't. You said probably, and I mean that's generous of you. I don't think there's anybody better at pure wrestling than Jonathan.
Hey,
and realistically should. Looking at how things have gone so far, Neal has definitely been frustrated. However, I'm looking at Gresham, somebody who took this match very, very late. Look at him right now. I think he's sustained some damage. I mean, he's on those. He's using those ropes to stay up right now.
Right, and I mean he's letting the referee know everything's good. We're good to go. On to this next segment.
Neal charging in. A head faked him.
That is a Gresham favorite right there. He's got you thinking one way and he's going a different way. He Kansas City shuffled him on that.
That was forearm, not a close fist there.
I said he's using them hands, elbows, and feet, And like I said, it's helping them stick out with this particular style because everybody's so worried about what kind of strike they're throwing out. They're just keeping it to the holds and the grabs and the suplexes.
That was close fist. Come on.
We gotta call it.
Neal has used the close fist. This is his one and only warning.
Yeah, go ahead, Shug.
So to give the explanation with a public warning, once you have one public warning against you in a match, if you should happen to get another foul, which in this case would be a closed fist, Derek Neal throws the match away.
Yeah, it's automatic DQ if he does that again. That was blatant too. That might be it.
Well, blatant for who? Because we know Derek Neal has a temper.
Well, that's true, but you know what? Might this be a situation, sure, where he's given that this isn't scored on points? Might that be a strategic decision where he's willing to say, "I know I have such a great right hand. That was a forearm." But might he have said to himself, "I am going to take this public warning because the damage I can do is worth it." I mean, maybe
like in basketball where you gotta get the foul because it'll get. I get you. As far as oh man. But much like one of my only a two counter, he bridges his way out of it. Sometimes a bridge is more beneficial than a kick because you're not having to exert all that extra
You're not throwing that weight off. You're not trying to throw that weight off.
But you got to make sure you got a strong neck and everything else area to be able to do it. But Derek, what I'm worried about with him is, he's heard the people talking. He's heard people saying that that he's probably not the type for these type of rules. He's letting these people get under his skin. He's letting Gresham's style get under his skin. I'm afraid that he's going to see red at the wrong time, throw the wrong shot.
Oh, look at that, though, with the bridge!
Beautiful Northern Light suplex.
Look, that was very close.
Only a two.
That was very, I mean,
our timekeeper was close.
Official, but that was extremely close. It's not a game of inches in wrestling. It's often a game of millimeters.
Absolutely. I just want Derek to keep his composure. I mean, he might actually be able to, if he can claim a win over Gresham,
be huge.
That booking fee is going up. Yesterday's price is not today's price if he can beat Gresham. And he's trying to fight through it. The strong arms and shoulders of Gresham.
Pushing that head right there in the spine.
Gresham, when he decided that he was going to pack on all that extra muscle, he went and he started looking at the training styles of some of the old Japanese greats as far as it goes, who favored that upper body, who favored a lot of that and whatnot, powerlifting, things of that nature. And it's helped him because even though he's a smaller athlete, it neutralizes any power advantage that a lot of guys
absolutely.
have.
I mean, you look at somebody like, for example, the great Tatsumi Fujinami started off as a junior heavyweight in New Japan, and he was built. I mean, he could go. Absolutely. Right up there for great counter, but man, Neal has stuck with it. And honestly, at this point, this round, again, if it was on points, it'd be going to Derek Neal. And what's interesting to me right now, Shug, is Neal is actually winning on technique at this moment.
Which is strange to say. You would think that's a weird thing. Gresham, he used the ropes to step through so that he was able to go ahead and catch a break. Now he's looking very defensive in the way that he's trying to step to Derek.
Right to that waist lock, trying to trip inside. Might be thinking, he's thinking octopus hold here.
Grapevine as well too. He might be able to slip it on.
That's
see.
A big frame of Neal. To have to switch that far hip there, Shug. That's very difficult to execute that hold against anybody. Let alone somebody with the frame of Derek Neal.
That's what I'm about to say, because it's like, I've seen guys that got horse legs. I've seen guys that are very top heavy and whatnot, but Derek has strong legs, strong arms, strong torso. It's like, no matter where you try to aim for, this guy has got armor everywhere that it looks. You have to find the in-betweens, the chinks in the armor.
Great counter there, though, from Gresham. Fire back with some chops, but trying to take some breath away from the rear defender.
Oh, my goodness. He might have stopped that man's heart with that chop. Oh, my God.
I think Derek Neal just made a mistake. If I was Derek Neal there, I think I would have stayed in the ring. There was 22 seconds on the clock. He maybe could have got a 20 count there. I know that's not necessarily want to win.
Is that a drag? He's tapping on the floor, but it means nothing.
You can't tap on the floor.
It means nothing. It's on the floor.
This concludes the second round.
Yeah, you can't tap on the floor.
There you go. Mike Black even saying it. Absolutely not. He can tap all day long out there. It's not going to count for anything.
No. Now this is a great example of where Derek Neal sort of rough and tumble style. Like, it's been in his fair share of no DQ, falls count anyway.
Yeah.
You know, he's the Gateway Heritage Champion for St. Louis Anarchy. Lots of those times. I think his rule set that he's got there is Anarchy rules, which means anything goes.
Yep.
In that scenario, if he's in Alton, Illinois, you know, that's he just won the match.
And
but here,
and look at this. He hasn't even had a chance to get to his feet this whole time. Derek Neal literally gets to start the match just going straight to work as far as it goes. And the crazy thing about everything that we just saw take place, I know what you're saying. He's like, why wouldn't he just take the count off? This man wants to win. He
wants to definitively beat John.
If they roll the tape back, he wants to be able to say, I tapped out, knocked out, pinned who you consider to be the best.
Yes, that's a great. Let's be honest, Shug. You're a wrestler. I can ask you this.
I want the accolade.
Nobody really wants to win by countout. I mean, you'll take it if you can get it, but nobody really wants that.
Look, you know my beef with Jaden Newman, and he knows his beef with me. So, like, along those lines, you get what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
It's like, if you don't possess it, if you don't possess the ability to be able to say, I totally dominated this guy, what do you have?
I'm loath to criticize Jonathan Gresham, but that back's bothering him. We know that, and he's gone for something out of that waistlock twice. He can't get Neal. I'm not sure that's a sound strategy right now.
Sometimes when you're hurt,
that hurt him too. That missile drop kick connected there, but it really, really hurt Gresham.
And if it was me, I wish he had did a missile dropkick off to the side, almost like the way Booker T used to.
Yes.
That way you're not landing on the back, you land on your chest.
Well, it was that tumble toward the end of that last fall where he landed very awkwardly on the apron and then the floor that really seemed to have damaged the back of Gresham.
Now, you also have to keep in mind as well, too. I know what you're saying. Why is he going for certain things the way he's going for things? You get desperate when you get hurt. You have to go for big things to hopefully equal the odds quicker.
That's a great point.
Goes for the lariat.
Let's go again. That's too strong. If he can get hooks in here, man,
But he doesn't have the height to be able to go ahead and do that. If
difficult.
I was about to say,
and he got all of it. He got absolutely all that drop kick.
This might be a wrap. This goes through.
Again to the sleeper. He's trying to get that grip. There you go. I didn't know if he was going to be able to get it. He was able to get it.
If he can get Derek down to a knee, it's a wrap. Because he can't cinch it in the way that he wants to. The grip is not, there it is. Now if he can just lean in and put some of that body weight forward, and that might be a wrap.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's making Neal carry him right
there
now.
There it is.
If we get three, it's over. And he's trying to break it. He's trying to get wrist control. He's got it, Shug. He's got that wrist of Gresham. Man, Gresham is extremely powerful, though. That's a test of almost of wills here.
Got you. And it's like, and we've seen, you're not fooling with somebody that's not a big match player. He's been in the rough situations that had to find his way out of it. Plus, the last thing Derek wants in this building is to have to suffer a loss in front of a crowd that he has to see every other week as their champion.
Oh, you switching back to that Dragon Sleeper, and he actually tapped out Gresham, but it was on the floor with this.
It got him to tap before.
Now, before, he had the knee in the back.
Yep.
If he could get him down and get that knee in the back, Gresham able to counter that.
Gresham cranking back. He's got his own neck crank.
Able to shift weight. Now, see, man, if I'm Gresham, I don't want to be in this position against Neal, though, because that's how that do-buster, if he could, they're fighting for this suplex.
And the only reason he's not getting
two, extremely well executed.
Oh my God! Decapitated that man.
That impact was real bad. Into a quick cover. Two. You know, look, if he gets to that cover, a second or two earlier, Derek Neal would have pinned Jonathan Gresham here today. This for that last spot to advance to the second round. Semi-final spot here for the Modern Age Grappling Championship. Flurry of elbows. Gresham is almost
maybe a strike stoppage he's trying to go for. Wait, is he? Is it?
Oh,
I'm concerned.
That was.
It looked like it.
I thought it was that's a referee discretion there. Gresham trying to get to those ropes.
That hand is waving a little too much for me, but we waiting on something to slap. Is he passing out?
Right. We're down. We're about 5 seconds here in the round.
Oh, saved by the bell.
Listen.
And Gresham is slumped.
Well, he's saved by the bell, but what's he gonna? I mean, how you gonna win?
He's got 30 seconds to get it together.
He's coughing up. I mean, like this is
the kind of stuff where, like, sometimes the bell can save you, but not by that much, because he's literally got less than probably 20 seconds to get it together before Derek Neal comes out of that corner, fist of raging.
Here, you know. There's the bell. I mean, that's it. That's how fast that went by. That was pure desperation from Gresham.
Crash and burn on that.
That chop was on point, though. Man, that back is really still bothering him, though, Shug.
Gresham couldn't go right away. Back elbow, so that doesn't count.
Trying to sweep it again. He's going. Oh my goodness, that was worse than the first one, and the first one was bad.
He is ringing Gresham's bell so bad.
Telegraphed it though. Step again.
Is this?
He finally got it. Wasn't able to hold a bridge, but the damage might be done anyway.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes nothing ventured, nothing gained.
And you know the bigger guy. This could be a rope-a-dope thing. The bigger guy expending more energy. That's it! That's a wrap! That's it!
Derek Neal has either second Genesis and therefore, by this modification, Jonathan Gresham!
He did it to himself!
I know it doesn't look like it, but Jonathan Gresham is your winner advancing. This is exactly what I talked about. Derek got caught in the heat of battle and completely clocks Gresham.
This is no disrespect to Jonathan Gresham, but Jonathan Gresham didn't win this match. Derek Neal lost it. Yeah, I mean that is my assessment.
I will agree with you.
Derek Neal found a way to lose. He was in control for big chunks.
And Gresham's up. He wants some more. Gresh wants some more.
He knocked him out with that Dragon Sleeper. He tapped him, albeit on the floor.
Yeah. Well, I guess we need to see what Gresham has got to say about this whole situation. So let's go kick it down to Carmen Michael.
Jonathan Gresham not having want to see a first-round match end, but nonetheless, here you are filling in for an injured Invictus Cash, and you are one step closer to the modern age grappling championship. What would it mean to you to win such a prestigious title?
What would it mean to me to win the modern age grappling championship? Well, I'll tell you what it means. Everything I've been fighting for since day one was to restore honor, not just to all the companies I work for, but to this industry that I love so much. The only way to do that is for individuals like myself to fly the flag of the origins, history of this great sport. So for me to win the championship, I will be the one carrying the flag into the future all around the world, proving to everyone that real wrestling is still on.
So he's kept it very real. We know the mission. We know why he's trying to fight. But, I mean, he's in a bad way. Derek Neal literally wrestled the match of his life and lost it to himself.
He absolutely did. That's not a knock on Jonathan Gresham taking this match on no notice at all. Difficult for anybody, especially against a competitor like Derek Neal. Derek Neal not only acquitted himself very well, had the match won at various points, and found a way to lose because he couldn't play by the rules. Now it is time, Shug, for the semifinals. Let's see what we got. Let's go to the ring.